Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about the Bardstown Dinner Train. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Katie Joyce, Tim Swyatt, and Darren McElroy.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hey, I'm shaking.
Hey, so Beka, I, and 34 of our best friends and family were at the recent Bardstown Dinner Train as we record this, actually just the day before. So It's fresh on our minds. Great time to do the show, but we'll get to that after the break. For right now, Beka said there's something else you want to talk about. What is that?
So this is going to be a question paired with a story that might make you reanalyze what your answer is. So just real quick and just yes or no answers. Who is concerned about identity theft?
No.
Yes.
Tim says
Enough
yes.
to think about it?
Darren? No?
Like, kind of. Not every day. I don't wake up and go, I wonder if someone stole my identity last night. But, like, it's on my mind sometimes.
Okay, so I just heard this crazy story. This is like a Twilight episode, okay? This guy worked with another man at a hot dog stand back in 1988.
Okay.
And the one guy stole the other man's identity. No clue why, but he did. And he has had this man's identity for 35 years.
Okay, that's nice.
On top of that, he got married under his fake identity.
Okay.
His job, he works in a hospital. That's under his fake identity. The other guy who found out that his name had been, that his identity was stolen, tried complaining about it and tried to take this guy to court. And they told him he was delusional and they threw him in the mental hospital.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The man who's truly Matthew Wood went
he waited too
to
long.
the mental
He lost
hospital
it.
because of that. And at some point, the guy who stole the identity got, like, because he had taken the guy's ID. And if you have the guy's ID, then you're, like, fucked, I guess. And he got his birth certificate.
How?
Because, like, he, like, sent in all the different because he was getting everything, loans, all this stuff under this other man's name for 35 years. And they would not believe him up until, and the other guy, the real Matthew Wood, is homeless now.
Sure.
And lives on the streets, somehow found out that someone was trying to take out more loans on his name. And so he went to the bank and told them, once again, they put him into the mental hospital for this.
Wow.
And then they
seems like we're missing some of this.
Yeah, and then finally, because the other guy has all his information. He is
I get it.
All the guy's stuff.
Yep.
And finally, he was like, all right, I need to figure out where this guy works at. So he found out where this guy works at. He went to the hospital. He told them, this is not who this is. I'm that person. And they didn't believe him. And then again, the courts get involved. And finally, they had to get a fucking DNA test.
Okay.
To prove the original guy's identity after 35 years.
Okay.
And now the guy who'd stolen his identity has a kid with the last name Wood, because that's the fake name.
Sure.
Like everything is under this
go
guy's
big or
stuff.
go home. You know?
Yeah.
Who did this guy murder that he needed that clean of a start?
See how far it takes me.
I don't know. But now he's facing up to 30 years in jail.
30 years in jail.
For stealing, but all off of just a stolen identity. And I was like, oh, I recently lost my wallet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lock her down.
I mean, if anybody wants the Steve Akeley life, I'll just try to start something anew.
Well, they might not take your life. They might just ruin yours by taking out loans.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'll be homeless. I'll just go down to Key West. It'll be fine. It'll be good. I'll just hang out in the sun. Yeah. It's weird. I don't think about this stuff. I figure there's consumer protection laws in place. This doesn't sound like I went here. But again, I don't know how this happens. I don't know how you could stand in front of a court. Someone steals my ID, even gets a birth certificate, which you can get if they stole my license first. That's a good starting point, because then you can start getting things.
Get a new birth certificate with the license.
Could you go to the hospital, find out what hospital I was born at.
This was in 1988, when it originally happened. So
correct.
Obtaining some of these things was a lot easier back then than it is now.
Absolutely.
The proof of who you are is a lot more apparent now than it ever has been.
It just seems like I could line up 1,000 people to say, no, this is really the Steve Akeley. I could. There's things I could prove that I could go back and show documents of which has my social security number on, which ties to me. Employment from various places and things. And it seems hard to believe it could happen. It sounds like a movie. That sounds.
It sounds like an episode of The Twilight Zone where you're telling everyone, you're like, no, that's me. And everyone's like, that's not, he's got all your stuff. He's married. That's not
right.
You're a crazy homeless man.
Right.
And
there's a lot to unpack here.
There is.
I think the time of it is key, of that he didn't try to do anything right away, that the guy had his identity long enough to build up almost an equal amount of paperwork to say, no, that's me. I have the same amount of paperwork as you have. Who's to believe that?
Yeah.
I'm going to take it a different way here, though, Katie Proof. I'm going to take it in. What if we like the new Steve Akeley more than the old Steve Akeley?
We'll corroborate with the new guy.
No, that's
we'll
not
be like,
Steve Akeley.
we've never seen this guy with. No, we don't know who this guy is.
I'm like, Katie, you know me. You know who I am, Katie. It's me. I'm the real Steve.
I've never seen that man in my life.
They come into the shop and all the regulars are there, and they're like, yeah, no, we don't know that man.
I don't know who this is. Who is this new guy? Who's the new guy? Who's the new guy?
I just
new guy. He should be pissed.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine how absolutely nuts you would feel when everyone just goes,
yeah,
I don't know who you are.
Right? No, that's not who you are. And you're like, no, but it is. And apparently he lost it since I think they threw him in the mental hospital twice.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, they will mess you up in the mental hospital because they start putting down a cocktail of drugs and stuff.
Yep.
I mean,
they told him he had to stop using that name. It was court ordered. He needed to stop pretending to be Michael Wood. And he was like, but that is who I am. And they're like, you're not allowed to say that anymore.
Oh my God.
I still gotta go
this
back.
guy take out the loans and still pay them? Because
I think he did. I think that he
might have been building the guy some good credit.
Sound of it, he was living,
I mean, he's doing him a favor.
It sounds like he was
thanking him.
Paying into Social Security.
I think he was being a pretty normal human, or just good citizen for the most part, other than the fact that he stole someone's identity.
We're missing so much.
Like Darren said, who did he murder that he needs to
Yeah, we need to know why the other hot dog guy wanted to become hot dog guy number one. I don't understand.
Steve did bring up an excellent question. So now that they figured this out and the guy pretending to be him is going to prison, does the original Michael Wood get to use the Social Security that the fake Michael Wood earned for him?
Yeah.
Or are they going to tell him, I'm sorry, you didn't earn that. Now we know that. So you have to start from scratch.
I'm sure it benefits them. So yeah,
I don't know. But it sounds like it just fucked this guy's life up because he just is homeless.
Yeah.
Can you imagine homeless Steve Akeley down in Key West? I envision homeless Steve Akeley wearing a Pappy bag. So now you got Pappy bag guy and Crown Royal bag guy competing for tips.
Well, sure. That's how I earn my living is the tips. Yeah. So
the Pappy bag guy's got a longer bag though. If you didn't,
I was gonna say it's a bigger bag.
Yeah, the Pappy bag's a nice long bag.
The brown one's for girth.
Yeah. Red velvet, soft on the skin. I'm still troubled with homeless Steve Akeley and Steve Akeley, assuming he's got 1,000 people that'll corroborate that he's Steve Akeley.
Yeah.
I think this is very entertaining. This could
be a
whole new show.
I got yearbooks showing that I am Steve Akeley in grade school age. I've got all kinds of stuff.
I'm guessing these guys must have looked very similar to each other.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, can you imagine like your childhood best friend does something like that to you and just takes over your whole time? I mean, it's like what's that one? What was the movie with? Oh my God, was it Femme Fatale or what was that one movie where the roommate took over?
Face Off, yes. It was Face Off.
It was Face Off?
Cage.
Yes.
Nicolas
Cage, that one too. That's a good one
John
too.
Travolta, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. That was something.
Yeah, that was.
So, Beka, you had your wallet stolen. What are you doing now? You taking it a little more seriously after this story?
I haven't told anyone about this. It wasn't stolen.
Oh, lost. I'm sorry. Lost.
No.
Misplaced.
It was lost. Did I tell you guys this?
No.
Oh God. I haven't told anyone this. I told Royce, keep your fucking mouth shut about it because it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And I literally, when it happened, I knew it was gonna happen.
Sure.
I knew it was gonna happen. We were flying back from New Orleans, and I had pulled my wallet out and I was not drunk. I want to preface everything with saying I was not drunk. And know what? I would have felt better about this had I been just obliterated. I'd be like, at least there's a reason. At least I was a drunk piece of shit. I wasn't drunk. I was getting a glass of wine, and then and Royce was getting like a soda.
I wasn't drunk, and then immediately goes into what she's drinking.
Right.
I was getting a glass of wine, but I wasn't drunk. It was my first glass of wine. I was on the plane. We're flying to Charlotte, and I pulled my wallet out, and the stewardess like screwed something up, and and handing her my card, and she goes, I screwed it up. You can just put your stuff back. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like kind of putting it back, and she's like has her hands full of stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so I like just set my wallet next to me because she was handing me all the stuff. And I'm like, the seats are fucking tiny, and like you're trying to maneuver, and I'm like, I'll put my wallet back in a second, like after I figure everything out. I did not put my wallet back.
You didn't follow the process.
I get off the plane. We walk away. I go to get some pretzels, Annie Ann's.
Sure.
And
nice.
I reach in my wallet to grab my wallet, and I go, holy shit, my wallet's on the plane. I run back. They're boarding the plane. I go up to the flight or the gate lady, and I'm like, I need to get on. Like, I need my wallet's on the plane. She rolls her eyes at me, and she's like, well, it's probably gone now. And I'm like, can you look? I'm like, I was just there. Seat 27A, American Airlines. And she's like, I'll go look.
As if.
And so she goes and looks, which I spoke to another friend, and she's like, they don't look when they go and look. She goes, because I did that once before too. She's like, I went on the plane. I told them I was getting on the plane, and I found my wallet, my purse before. And she came back, she's like, nope, it must be gone. The cleaners must have got it. I go, well, can you give me the number for the cleaner? She goes, that's a different agency than us, so I don't know who it is. And I go, there's like, this happened like within 5 minutes.
Right.
Like there's no one that you can who can I talk to? She goes, well, you can talk to Lost and Found. And I'm like, is there a number for Lost and Found? She's like, well, you'll have to go into American Airlines and submit a claim. And I'm like, okay, but like right now, like this just happened in like 5 minutes. There's not anyone who I could speak to. And she's like, nope, you can just file a claim. And I'm like, okay, because I'm like she's just being like completely unhelpful. So then I go ask someone else, and I'm like, where's the Lost and Found for Charlotte, one of the busiest airports? Where's the Lost and Found? They go, well, you can go out to it. I told them what happened. They go, well, you can go out to it. It's on the other side of baggage claim. It's on the outside.
You won't.
And I go, yeah. I go, so it's on the outside of it. They're like, yeah. And I go, well, then I can't go get it because if it's not there yet, since it's been 5 fucking minutes. and it's not there anyways.
That
I go,
sucks.
then I can't get back. And
that's stupid.
They go, yeah, that is a good point. And I'm like, yeah, it
Where's
is.
the cleaning company's office?
Yeah, I'm like, who?
They got to be a.
Yeah, I go, who could I talk to? They're like, they go, I don't think there's even a phone number for it.
Well, it's like, well, can local law enforcement or a one of the agents on the planes, can they walk me and escort me in to go talk on just this, that, and the other? Can somebody help me out here?
There's no one at all that can like assist me, and so I was pissed at myself. Obviously, that's the main thing. I was like embarrassed and just like pissed off myself. I was pissed off that they did not help me at all, and I sent like messages, emails to everything I could, but there is nothing. Don't ever lose anything on a plane, because there will be zero help at all, and no one calling the Charlotte airport is impossible, obviously, because who's gonna answer?
Yeah.
There is no number for lost and found. American Airlines will be zero help, which is not surprising at all. This is why I usually exclusively fly Delta, because they're at least fucking helpful at Delta.
Right.
At Delta.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. I was staying at a hotel in downtown Louisville, and I thought I left my toiletry bag there and everything like that. I'm like, I know where it's. I have this process I know what's in there. So I called the hotel. I'm like, listen, I could drive back. Whatever you need. He said it was yesterday. I just checked out of this room number. Did somebody something to bring it to me? Oh, let me check on that, and I'll call you right back. Of course, I never got a call back, and I'm like, all right, screw it. I can't wait any longer. I'm sitting there waiting for like a half an hour, put me off schedule and everything, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go. Forget it. It is what it is. It's done. It's over with. And I get back, and son of a bitch, I did have it in my bag. I just missed it. It was tucked underneath with other clothes stuff. I just missed it, and I'm like, oh, but at least I could have gotten a call back. And I'm like, well, that's the last time I'm staying there. Hyatt Regency. So that'll be it.
Just name dropping everyone.
Everyone's getting slammed today.
If
So
I could do it, then I could do it too.
Creating our
Nothing-
travel burn book here.
Yeah.
Nothing happened with the wallet then? They never got it back?
They never.
Did you cancel the credit cards or
Yeah, so
whatever?
was
that
it
were
your
in?
credit cards and everything?
Huh?
Your credit cards and everything were in there?
Oh yeah, my passport ID, my my
Jesus.
driver's license, my credit
Ooh.
cards, a bunch of like random business cards and stuff were in there too. And it's a nice wallet too. It's like a nice Coach wallet, which I was like, well, I'm definitely not getting that back. And there was like, I don't know, like $200 in there, so I was all gone. It's definitely gone. I was like, maybe someone will at least be nice enough to like mail it to me. Like, fine, take the
You don't
cash.
have your address? Exactly.
Yeah, see, the address is in there.
Right.
Yeah, it's like they don't have your address, so it's like, can you just mail it back?
Like, can you
Take
just
a fee,
mail me
whatever.
the stuff that is
That's fine.
unuseful to you back to me?
Right.
God.
For the love
Just
of
see
God.
if I get a call and be like, hey, just so you know, this is Miss Beka Sue. I've got a new email. And that person's on the show next week. And then you're like, I'm Miss Beka Sue. I'm like, no.
I had business cards.
No.
Hey, they'll
That would
have
be
my
great
business
again.
cards. They'll have everything. So that's just it. Just sucks that like there's zero help for you if in fact and of course I was like looking it up and there's like some agencies that you can pay like $200 and they'll go find it for you. They'll be very diligent about returning your stuff. And it was like, that sounds like a fucking scam.
That sounds like a great way to waste $200.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, I already lost $200 in the wallet. I don't need to waste another $200 on that. But I had canceled the credit cards within like before I even made it back to the plane. I was canceling my credit cards or putting them on, like freezing them.
Freeze.
See, I would have been tempted to leave one unfrozen and to watch it closely to like aid in the assist. Like if it gets used somewhere, then call the police and be like, hey, this was just used at this location to see if maybe they had your whole wallet. But
yeah, my luck, they'd be like, sorry, she's actually Rebecca Sue Neely because she's got your fucking ID.
And you worked with her at the hot dog stand 40 years ago.
And she has two things that are proof of ID, which are the passport and her driver's license. So clearly that is her.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah, it just sucks. And I like have just not told anyone because I'm just embarrassed and I'm so fucking mad about it.
Still haven't told anyone. You didn't just do this live
No,
on
I just
air.
told all the people across America, but whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the only appropriate place to tell it anyways, would be on here.
We'll start a GoFundMe.
Self-humiliation is only appropriate and like to do to the public anyways.
Yeah. On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? We'll start with Beka. She needs a drink.
Yeah. To really drown my sorrows. I've got some Blanton's here.
Okay, Blanton's.
I don't know if I've ever drank Blanton's on the show, but I found it on the shelf here. So, fuck it. Why not have some Blanton's, right?
Blanton's.
For Michael Steinkamp.
Yeah. Cheers out to Steinkamp.
I don't know the last one. I guess the last one I had some was with Michael Steinkamp, but I don't even know that I drank it.
Okay. Solid.
Was it?
It's all flush right now.
That was good. It could be enough. We'll see.
Better than Tim's ever done.
Yeah, this is true. People were complaining about Tim's cork pops. Bruce, I think, said, "Has Tim ever even made a noise on a cork pop?" I'm like, no, I don't think so. I got Four Roses. I went to I forgot my bourbon for the bottle share, so I stopped in Four Roses and picked up a Brent Elliott pick. Yeah, I did.
Nice.
But I brought something. It wasn't just like, oh, guess what, guys? I didn't bring anything because I forgot. No, I manned up and went out and bought this. So here we go. Swide on the side. Woo!
That's pretty good.
Try to hide a fart there for a second.
There's a bad squeak to start out, but then the cork pop was explosive. I think I've got the lead now. Tim, you can go ahead and go.
I will fail my cork pop miserably here, but it's going to be with some damn fine whiskey from our friends over at Neely Family Distillery. This is Old Jet Brothers, finished in toasted French oak.
Okay. Looks like a new bottle.
Yeah, brand new bottle. Slide on the set.
How?
I bet it was a really good cork pop too.
It was solid.
It was solid. Okay, Katie's next. I've got the lead.
My settings are all set to low, volumes, this, that, and the other.
I don't
Renee, I'm calling
understand
you now.
how we can hear Tim's voice perfectly fine, and then as soon as he goes to pop the bottle, we see his arm move, and we never hear anything.
Nothing.
Well, that's actually more impressive than a loud cork pop.
Yes.
So I have a bottle from another Bardstown adventure. I've Peerless Toasted, signed by Corky Taylor, that we picked up at Bourbon Palooza.
Oh, it's got the Bourbon Palooza wristband.
Yeah, I got my Bourbon Palooza wristband with it too.
Yeah, that's nice. Take over settings. Oh, there's a new leader. We have a new leader.
That was good.
Good luck with that, Darren.
Yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy my Leopold Brothers 3-chamber rye and not win this cork pop.
That was a weird cork pop right there.
It was.
What the hell happened there?
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Katie wins.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to get some questions about the Bardstown Dinner Train. Beck and I were just on with some of our closest friends from the ABV Network. These clowns didn't go with us, so they're going to ask us some questions about it. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
Hi, this is Mr. Bill. You're listening to Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Steve and I got a ride on a train.
Yes, we did. The dinner train. It was nice.
Choo-choo.
Had a lot of fun, didn't we, Becca?
We had probably the time of our lives.
Yes, it was
I would
really
dare
good.
to say.
It was
And
legitimately
anyone that
good.
didn't go really missed out.
I think they did. And it feels like that's kind of like a one-time and done event. It doesn't, you do it, it would be like, it's just the same old, same old. So maybe if there's enough of a gap, maybe a couple of years, but it's not anything we're going to be doing again anytime soon. So, yeah, you missed out. So what do you want to know about the train?
How was the food? Let's start there. Because from what I saw, it looked enjoyable, to say the
I'll let
least.
Becca start with that.
We started off with a salad. I don't know if Steve got the salad or not. They have a famous salad that they get there.
They do?
And it was actually really good. I'm not a fan of feta cheese. But I just knocked some of the big chunks off, and then I really couldn't taste the feta on it anyways. But the salad was solid. We got the antipasta board. That was delicious. They had a little flour of meat
prosciutto
in the middle. They had it was a nice little cheese board. It was very well put together, fresh flowers and stuff on it to make it pretty.
So you got a Lunchable.
Yeah,
You got
an adult lunchable.
Lunchables.
A very nice adult lunchable.
A charcuterie board.
I got the charred shrimp and bacon skewers.
Nice.
Bacon pineapple
Nice.
skewers.
Ooh.
So those were some of the appetizers. There's another appetizer on there too. I don't remember what it was though.
Yeah.
What did Jeff Kaplan order? That'd be the curious one.
I don't know.
I think he had the barbecue bacon skewers.
Did he?
too.
Okay, I wonder what Chef Kaplan would be ordering. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good. That's good enough.
After that, we got dinner, which was and there was different options. I think most people got the massive,
Yeah, it was massive.
half chunk of a fucking cow prime rib.
Yes, it was huge.
It was huge. That was like a 22-ounce
Nice.
prime rib.
Did it come with a T-shirt if you finished it?
They probably fucking should have, and then it came with a baked potato and then some green beans.
Yep.
The green beans were really the only thing I was kind of disappointed in. I didn't really like the green beans. I usually really do enjoy green beans, but I can live with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had dessert at the end, which was also fantastic.
Yes.
It was all the same dessert because I saw the one picture of the train made out of chocolate.
I think it's 5 different desserts.
Chocolate choo-choo.
The chocolate choo-choo. Please refer to it by the right name. The chocolate
The
choo-choo.
chocolate choo-choo.
Royce got the chocolate choo-choo.
Yep, Royce didn't know he was getting that. I ordered that for him. He was like, "You actually ordered perfectly." He's like, he loves chocolate mousse, so he was like, "This is delicious."
Yeah.
Yeah. It actually looked awesome. It did look awesome.
I had a lemon berry cake of some sort.
I had one of my favorite desserts, a tres leche cake. So they had that. I love that one. Yeah.
No sorbet, huh, Becca? No sorbet.
No sorbet on the train. I survived because
I'm almost glad because if they wouldn't have had lemon, we would all have
been
trouble.
spectacular.
Everyone else would have had lemon, and they'd come to Becca and they'd be like, "I'm so sorry,
Yeah,
ma'am,
we
but
ran out.
we ran out of the lemon sorbet." Would you believe it?
What are the chances? Yeah.
Becca rant. Oh, that would have been spectacular.
It would have been spectacular.
Pull the train over
Everyone
and
else on
escort
the
her off.
cart's downing their sorbet before Becca can leap over to their table and take it.
I would have stolen sorbet from someone for sure.
Yeah.
But my lemon berry cake was fantastic. They also had an apple pie.
Something with peach too. There was a peach thing.
They had a lot of options. So, all the stuff that you guys saw online, there was way more options than that. It's just that a lot of people got.
Yeah.
Well, the prime rib really was
there was a chicken, a pork chop, a fish. There was fish too.
All made on the train.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a
Impressive.
car on there that's just dedicated to a kitchen. So it's kind of cool.
Where was the train going?
That was my question.
Yeah, it starts
That
in
was one of my
downtowns. Downtowns. It starts in downtowns, Bardstowns. And it's basically just an out and back. So you go straight up, and you're going through kind of some cool stuff. If you're a bourbon fan, you're going by the original Old Samuel's Distillery. You're going by through the Bernheim Forest, which is kind of cool. You're going by the original location where they were prior to being called Jim Beam, what we now call Jim Beam. The old Tub Distillery. You go by that, which is pretty cool. I didn't even know that was kind of a thing. And then you go by Heaven Hill too, and then Jim Beam, and then you end up by Jim Beam, which is very cool.
A lot of rick houses, which were really cool, like going past them.
Mm-hmm. But different styles too.
Yeah, which
they call like a chimney style because it goes up like this, and then there's a real high. Yeah,
I thought that was pretty. There was just rick houses all over the place, and just a nice, relaxing ride. The bathrooms were nice. Little known fact
That's
about the dinner
from a train.
Was it a traditional pull chain toilet with the tank above you, like in The Godfather?
Like a literal toilet.
Okay, well, it opens up. You leave it on the tracks.
It was bigger. Yeah, just dumps it on the tracks. No, it was like an actual toilet, like bigger than a fucking plane. Definitely bigger than Americans.
And they had men's and women's.
Yeah, men's and women's bathrooms, and cool. Big, and I thought very clean, but full toilet in there, which was nice. Wow. And it was like tall. It wasn't like a weird slanted roof. It was like a full bathroom.
Service was really good too. I mean, they were on it. If
very
you drink that
nice.
low. Yeah, light. Very nice. Yeah, it was.
The only issue is that if you are a larger, tall person, you're going to be. It's tight. It is tight seating. Like you're going to be knee to knee there.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Because it's
it's 4 people per table, right?
Yep. 4 people per table, 2, an aisle down the middle, tables on both sides.
Yeah.
And we do have some big guys. Besides me, you've got Blaine Patridge, you've got Jake Horn.
Mr. Bill.
Yeah. Mr. Bill kind of on the tall side.
Jeff
certainly.
Kaplan on there on the tall side too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So we had some tall guys, and so they kind of had to move their chairs out, but even doing that, like the train crew was very accommodating to that. They just squeeze on past you.
Yeah.
But it was our tour guide, Steve.
Yeah. So we went on, there's different experiences you can do. So there can be just the straight dinner. There can be the bourbon experience. And they also do mystery theater sometimes. Not all the time, but they do like a mystery dinner type of thing. And we were on the bourbon experience, and I selected that because we're bourbon people, but I thought, drinking bourbon because you drink bourbon all along the way. You're greeted, you get a cocktail when you get there, and then there's 4 flights that tie into kind of like, we had Old Tub by the Old Tub Distillery, and then different ones as we went out, some T.W. Samuels as was in the cocktail because we were going by there and all that kind of stuff. So it was cool how it tied in. But what was awesome was, I thought that's going to be the tough one, because you're going to have someone who has kind of a script and they got to go with that. And it's going to be like, all right, everybody, does anybody know what bourbon is? So can anybody define bourbon? Well, bourbon's 51% corn. No, this guy wasn't like that at all. He knew who we were. They had told him that about the ABV. Matter of fact, they even at the train before we left, they greeted the ABV Network, which is cool.
That was awesome.
The whole group started cheering. It was awesome. Cool. And then this guy knew all about us. And what was cool about him was, he was the real deal. He wasn't a guy who was just there doing a part-time job. He's been in the bourbon industry. He worked at Jim Beam with Booker No. So, I mean, that's legit.
Yeah.
And,
Rob Hutchins.
Yes. So I'm going to get him on the Bourbon Show. So we'll get to hear more of his story. Friends with Parker Beam too. And, stories about Parker, Booker, all that kind of stuff. It was a cool guy.
He was awesome.
He was.
I was super impressed, because that's one thing I said too. I was like, "Oh God,
this is gonna suck.
We're gonna have this bourbon expert on here, and he's gonna be like telling us shit that we're like, yeah, and we're just gonna like kind of like go ear blind."
He didn't do any of that. None of that.
No, he was like, he had like legit cool stories to tell, and he was like, he was, I think, actually happy that we all knew stuff about bourbon,
right?
Because then he didn't have to talk about any of that. He got to tell cool stories instead.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what he did. He wasn't even talking about like really bourbon itself. He was just talking about like cool stories about bourbon.
Yes.
Which I thought was awesome. And like just history, and like, we're about to go past this. And he was talking about how like the Goldfingers. The is it, what's their name? The people.
Gold rings. Yeah, gold rings.
Yeah, he's talking about how them and the Shapiros would just go back and forth and be like, no, you can have this brand and you can have this brand, which is a story I've heard before, but like I don't think a lot of people have ever heard that, and so it was just like I thought he was great. He was telling all the good stories.
Yeah, he was. And like I said, that's the first time I saw that warehouse style. And Parker Beam supposedly said those are the best warehouses in the world. Heaven Hill still owns those. I don't know if they own them or rent them or what, but they still age some of their stuff. And they say a lot of like Parker's heritage is in these ones that kind of goes up, like I said, almost like a chimney in the middle. It kind of, it's not just almost like a rectangular building. It has a unique shape to it. And Parker Beam said that's the best place to age whiskey. So kind of cool. Wonder why anybody else doesn't do that these days, just to try it as a nod to history.
Because it's easier to just build big, massive squares.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
It's cheaper. It's way cheaper to just go straight up than build all those.
Yeah.
Little.
I want to go inside though. I want to see what's that look like. Is that
how hot does it get up there to the top?
Yeah. Imagine. I wonder if they whiskey all the way to the top. I don't know.
The heat would rise if they had this sheet metal on top. It would keep on going, keep working its way up, trying to vent.
Yeah. So what questions do you guys have? I know Katie had some questions ready to go. What do you got, Katie?
Yeah. So it looked like quite a few from the group had dressed up, had on nicer attire. Would you say that was kind of the vibe of the whole night, of a little fancy throughout? Was that
it fancy but casual? I mean, because they suggest that you class it up a little bit, but it's not required. So you can wear whatever you want, really. But I think for the most part, and I kind of sent that out saying, hey, this is kind of what they suggest, nicer attire. But in reality, you self-police that, So yeah, and I think everybody kind of looked pretty good. So
I had this vision of like in Casino Royale, James Bond on the dinner train with a dinner jacket and the whole shebang and everything. And people it looked like that.
Several had jackets on.
That was the thing. And I had a hard time believing that Tommy Bahama makes a dinner jacket, but no, that was Steve.
They do have one.
I don't know how Steve was going to figure that one out. But
they do have a dinner jacket, but I didn't.
He knows because he owns it.
Yeah, I do. I wore it to Jerry Dalton get into the Bourbon Hall of Fame.
That's right. That's right.
Wore the Tommy jacket. So
everybody looked sharp. It was a great group picture.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was good.
Lots of dresses, and everyone was dressed up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were looking good.
Yeah.
So on the way there and back, I assume the train just went in reverse. I assume it didn't make a circle. So you saw the same scenery at your windows. Did you all switch seats at all so you'd see something different on the way back? Or were you able to see over people?
You can, because it's big picture windows, right, Becca? So literally you could see out of both sides easily. And it was not a problem. But so it's kind of a weird thing too, because you go out and then it doesn't. While you are going in reverse, the main car, the locomotive engine,
the locomotive has to switch sides.
So you see it going past you, because it's got to go up front. That basically does turn around, and then it hitches up to the back there, and then takes you back, and then which is kind of cool.
Okay,
they have to do it again once they get to the other side, so they can back up and not have.
Because the train literally backs up to the depot. So.
It backs right on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Two sets of tracks. They just cross over to the one way and then back out the other way.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever been on a dinner train before? And if so, was the experience comparable?
I have. I went in Eureka Springs. They have the dinner train there. I thought this one was, for the most part, better. The food was a step up and all that. The only thing that was a little bit better in Eureka Springs was the dessert. But again, they only had one dessert. It was baked Alaska. But it was like a train that they pushed on a cart down the middle of the thing on fire in the tray, which that was kind of cool. But other than that, that's just a standout.
I thought you meant the train itself was on fire and they were pushing the train. I was like,
it could be if that dessert goes wrong, I guess. But
yes.
It was great. They lit the entire car on fire just for dessert. I loved it.
Yeah, I like the theme of this one. I like the fact it tied into bourbon, and the food is just outstanding. So this one,
the scenery there, and seeing the background, because you don't have a lot of roads go back there, and the main
right.
Just see that some of the history back there and go past it. That there right of itself. Sign me up.
I had no idea T.W. Samuels. I've never been to that old, which is basically distillery ruins, but I never had been there before. And everything's kind of set up. They got outside, tanks and fermenters and all kind of. I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of like a distillery ghost town almost.
Yeah,
I mean,
cool.
it's kind of all still set up there.
That has me very disappointed. I missed it.
Yeah.
My favorite part was that, because obviously this is something that goes on often, and has been going on for a long time. And so you would think that like locals would probably get like sick of it, like, oh, there goes the train again. But I thought it was really sweet that there was like locals that would come out to their yard and they would be waving at you when you went by.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was just like, it just made me so happy. And I like look over and like people in their cars are waving at you too. And like people are like, coming out like into their front yards and they're waving at you as you're going by. And I'm like, that's really cool. And just like the support from the community on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you would think that they'd get sick of, well, here comes this stupid train going by again.
That reminds me of a cruise boat leaving port. You have the people out there on the balconies. Everybody's waving bon voyage and everything like that. But there's always some asshat who's mooning you as well. Was anybody mooning the dinner train as they went by?
I saw no mooning. No.
Not that I
no
saw
mooning, not like the bar cruise in Key West, Steve, where we saw we knew exactly what we saw. So nothing like that.
It's nothing like that, Mel.
Nothing like that.
That's disappointing.
Mostly, it just seemed like it was a lot of locals who were like happy and like supporting it, and just like had their kids out there waving at us, and like there's some old guy standing on his deck just waving away, and I was just like,
that's cool.
It just made me really happy. And so then I was like watching for people, and I'm like, I gotta make sure I wave, because what if no one else is waving at these people? So I'm like staring out the window, just waving at everyone that I see.
Yeah, so it's really. Well, go ahead, Darren.
So do you think they own the train? Because can you just own a train? Are they renting the train from somebody?
Yes.
You think?
No, I think they own. I think they own. I would assume they own all of them.
It's actually a whole like business model. You can purchase train cars and then rent them out to the companies on the. That's like
RJ Coleman own it, Steve?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they own it, and they own the rail line.
Yeah.
Okay, so they own the rail line too. That was my next
so
question.
yeah. The rail that's going out there, it's only going to be the dinner train, which is kind of cool. On that
I think is that the only thing it gets used for? Because I saw some other. They definitely connects to some other stuff. I think it's like an off track that gets used, like low speed track. I think for different things. Mm-hmm. But I think it's like that particular line is obviously just for that. But they definitely use it for like some other. They're loading some rail cars. Looks like maybe some oil or something like that in one spot, or so like natural gas or something, but it was pretty much just for that. But RJ Coleman they're an interesting rail line. Royce's, I think that Royce's, I don't know if he was, maybe his sister went to school with one of the kids of them, but they flew into like one of the baseball games like on a helicopter and like landed in the field like right next to them during the baseball game, and like got out to come because they're obviously just fucking loaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they dabble in a lot of things, like I guess the dinner train.
The dinner train. Yeah. It's a nice deal. They
dabble in dinner trains.
Yeah. They do cocktails beforehand, so you get to have cocktails.
How were the cocktails? Like
beforehand? Or, pretty much anything you want, like full bar. Yep. Their specialty is called the Rusty Spike. Yeah,
Rusty Spike.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But if you order it, you get a painted railroad spike, which is kind of cool. A full size one.
Really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I got one of those. I'll have to bring it in the shop, put it in there.
Was it a place you could actually like order an old fashioned, or were they just like muddling the hell out of the cherries and put too much syrup?
They were making good cocktails. It looked like they made like Dave had a Manhattan, and I thought that was pretty good. They made like a tequila sunrise for someone. They had the appropriate glassware for it. They're making also. They have wine and stuff there too. They're making all sorts of cocktails. It looked like I just got a glass of wine personally, but. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was quite good.
And it was full in there. I was happy that when we pulled in, there was like no one in the parking lot when we first pulled in. And I was like, Steve said to be here at 4. I was like, so that's why we want to get here at 4. And we went in, I got a glass of wine, and it was kind of a ghost town. Then all of a sudden, within like 15 minutes,
line all the way to the door.
Massive line. Like just the whole place was completely full within like 15 minutes.
Yeah. So that was cool. Good time.
Did Kathy Cool get to drive the train? Because every time there's a motorized event with the ABV Network, somehow she ends up driving something.
Yeah, she did not. I'm sure she
did
wanted
not
to.
Get the ability to drive the train. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. She was at the table with Mandy, though. So when you get Mandy and Kathy together, there's a lot of talking going on. So she probably forgot to go ask. Yeah.
Their definite love of cheese. Yes.
Yeah. Over
and dogs.
Combined love of cheese and dogs.
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, there you go. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures.
Tim.
You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112 and on YouTube at Our Flagship Whiskey.
Katie.
You can find me over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. You never know what's going on, so please check that out at abvnetwork.com. Speaking of check things out, Bourbon Palooza, that is our website dedicated to our events, things like this train ride. So check out bourbonpalooza.com if you want to see what we have in the works. We've got 5 other events already lined up for this year. So yeah, there's plenty of things to do. And always more in the works as well. Again, bourbonpalooza.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing, the ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.